Most people throw this away without realizing they're wasting one of the most powerful natural remedies for senior health. And that's no exaggeration, because unfortunately, what you discard every day without a second thought may contain exactly the nutrients your body needs most to keep your bones strong, your memory sharp, and your energy steady even after 60. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that minor mineral deficiencies, common in people over 60, are directly associated with a 58% increase in the risk of falls, fractures, and mild cognitive impairment. Yes, 58%. And the most shocking part, most of these deficiencies can be avoided by reusing the discarded parts of foods. Simple, inexpensive, yet powerful foods ones that almost no one uses the right way. You're about to discover 8 foods most people throw away, but that hide incredible medicinal potential for those over 50. And one of them may contain more calcium than milk, more magnesium than spinach, and even substances that protect neurons from premature aging. And I promise you, after seeing this, you'll never throw away an eggshell without thinking twice. If you're looking to live longer and better, subscribe here to the Clever Aging channel, because if you value natural, practical, and science-backed solutions to live well, this is the place for you. Food 1. Vegetable stems. Have you ever thrown away the stems of broccoli, kale, or beets? If so, you may have tossed out one of the most powerful ingredients to protect your gut and your brain. That's right, as we age, our digestive efficiency decreases. The gut microbiota, which helps produce neurotransmitters, like serotonin, and even plays a role in memory regulations, starts to fall out of balance. And when that happens, symptoms like forgetfulness, irritability, unexplained fatigue, and even persistent sadness begin to appear. So, what do stems have to do with this? They're packed with insoluble fiber and bioactive compounds that feed the good bacteria in your gut, strengthen the intestinal walls, and help eliminate toxins that harm the brain. A study from Harvard Medical School found that people over 60 with gut imbalances have a higher risk of developing mild cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. In other words, taking care of your gut is taking care of your mind. And the most ironic part, a big part of the solution was going straight to the trash. Stems, especially from broccoli and kale, contain more fiber per gram than the leafy parts, as well as high levels of sulforaphane and chlorophyll compounds, with anti-inflammatory properties that protect the nervous system. How to use them? Easy. Wash well, chop finely, and saute with garlic and olive oil. You can also blend them with lemon and water to make a functional detox juice, which, on top of everything else, helps reduce bloating and regulate the gut. But a word of caution: those with serious intestinal issues or inflammatory conditions, like diverticulitis, should consult their doctor before consuming large amounts. And why does this matter? Because when you throw away the stems, you miss a golden opportunity to nourish your second brain, the gut, and in doing so, protect the first, your actual brain. And the consequence of inaction? It's continuing to live with poor digestion, constipation, increased inflammation in the body, and silently suffering the impacts on your memory, mood, and daily energy. And the next food will surprise you even more, because it has properties that can cleanse your arteries and even help regulate high blood pressure. And yes, many people toss it out without a second thought. Food 2. Pickle juice. Have you ever opened a jar of pickles, eaten the cucumbers, and thrown out the liquid? Most people do. But maybe no one ever told you that the leftover juice at the bottom of the jar might be one of the best natural remedies for your gut, your immune system, and even your brain. That's right. Over time, our body goes through silent changes. One of them is the depletion of the gut microbiome, a natural process that can directly impact digestion, mood, sleep, and even memory. This happens because the gut stops producing key substances like serotonin and allows more toxins to leak into the bloodstream, triggering inflammation that can reach the brain. And this is where pickle juice comes in. When made the right way, it's rich in probiotic bacteria, like Lactobacillus plantarum, which help restore gut health and reduce inflammation. These are the same bacteria that balance the so-called gut-brain axis, a direct communication pathway between your abdomen and your mind. Now, you might be wondering, isn't that juice full of sodium? And the answer is, it depends. The industrial versions of pickles, yes, often contain too much sodium and chemical preservatives like sodium benzoate or acetic acid, which cancel out the benefits. But naturally, fermented pickle juice, the kind made with just water, salt, and thyme, not only has a more balanced sodium content, it also provides live bacteria that actually help your body process that salt more efficiently. In fact, research suggests that probiotic consumption is associated with improved insulin sensitivity, reduced blood pressure, and a lower risk of metabolic syndrome, all of which are key concerns for anyone over 50. The secret is choosing the right kind. If you're buying pickles, check the label. Avoid products that list distilled vinegar or artificial preservatives. Ideally, the ingredients should include only cucumbers, salt, water, and natural spices. This indicates that the pickles went through true fermentation, making the brine functional. If you have access to it, even better. Prepare your own homemade pickles. Just cover vegetables with filtered water, add sea salt and herbs, and leave them at room temperature for a few days. The liquid left after fermentation is what specialists call liquid gold for the gut. And how can you use it in your daily routine? You can take a tablespoon on an empty stomach, use it as a base for salad dressings, or even dilute it in water with lemon and sip it throughout the day. Within a few days, it's common to notice less gas, lighter digestion, more regular bowel movements, and even a sharper mental state. But a word of caution. People with kidney problems or severe hypertension should consult a professional before adopting any regular changes, and like everything in life, balance is key. Because if you keep discarding this liquid, you're throwing away a powerful ally, a simple habit that can improve your gut flora, strengthen your immune system, and contribute to healthier aging with greater mental clarity. And if you liked that idea, get ready. The next food will surprise you even more. It's brown, ugly, and usually goes straight into the trash, but it can be a secret weapon for controlling blood sugar and improving brain circulation. Food 3. Banana peel. Have you ever noticed how banana peels automatically end up in the trash? We peel them without thinking twice and throw them away. But what almost no one knows is that this discarded part contains compounds that could help control anxiety, improve sleep, and even protect memory. Yes, banana peel can be a natural calming agent with a direct effect on the brain, especially for those over 50. Let's understand why. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. This leads to symptoms such as irritability, lack of concentration, persistent anxiety, and even memory lapses. And that's exactly where banana peel comes into play. It's incredibly rich in tryptophan, magnesium, potassium, and flavonoid antioxidants, which help regulate mood, improve sleep quality, and reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. It also contains pectin and tannins, which have an anti-inflammatory effect on the gut, once again, reinforcing the connection to brain health. In other words, it's not just the inside of the banana that's good for you. The peel, when properly used, is a true ally against anxiety, insomnia, and lack of focus. How to use it? Wash the peel thoroughly, cut it into pieces, and boil for 10 minutes in filtered water. This makes a gentle, functional tea with a naturally sweet flavor that can be taken at night. Many seniors report significantly improved sleep, waking up more energized, and experiencing less mental fog during the day. Another way is to incorporate the peel into recipes. When blended in a smoothie with fruit or added to cakes and savory dishes, it brings fiber, flavor, and a nutrient boost that often goes unnoticed. In fact, in countries like India, cooking with banana peel has been common practice for centuries. Now let's clear up a common doubt. Isn't the peel full of pesticides? That's a valid concern. Ideally, you should choose organic bananas, or wash them thoroughly with a baking soda and vinegar solution, which, according to studies by the Environmental Working Group, can reduce chemical residues on the peel by more than 70%. If you still prefer not to use the peel directly, you can make infusions or homemade extracts that retain the beneficial compounds without the solid residues. And what's most interesting is that this simple habit of using the peel can easily become part of your daily routine. A tea before bed, a smoothie in the morning, a functional touch in your lunchtime rice. Because the alternative, continuing to throw it all away, means missing out on a real chance to support your mental and emotional health in a simple, natural, and affordable way. And if you, like so many others, have been struggling with sleepless nights, constant worry, or mental fatigue, this is one of the most valuable tips you can try. But stay with me, because the next food is even more impactful. It looks dirty, rough, and almost everyone throws it away without a second thought. But it contains special fibers that can help balance blood sugar and protect your peripheral nerves. And that could change everything for those trying to avoid leg pain, tingling sensations, and mental fog. Food for potato peel. The potato is one of the most beloved and consumed foods in the world. But here's the catch. Nearly everyone throws away the part that's richest in compounds that could help protect the brain from premature aging. I'm talking about the peel. Yes, potato peel is a real source of bioactive compounds that target key areas for people over 50: inflammation, brain circulation, mineral absorption, and antioxidant defense. It's rich in chlorogenic acid, potassium, iron, and insoluble fiber, all elements that help reduce oxidative stress in the brain, protect neurons, and improve communication between them. Chlorogenic acid, in particular, has attracted the attention of researchers for its ability to shield brain cells from damage caused by environmental toxins and systemic inflammation to common factors in seniors who live in urban areas or take continuous medication. And the most surprising part, this compound is concentrated exactly where most people toss it in the peel. In addition, the fiber in the peel helps regulate the gut, and as we've already discussed, a healthy gut is the foundation of a clear, active mind. That's because more than 90% of serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter, is produced there. And when the gut is inflamed, the mind suffers too. So, if you eat potatoes often, this tip is easy to apply. Just wash the potatoes well. Choose organic when possible, avoid greenish ones or those with sprouts, and use the peel in your recipes. Baked potato peel chips with herbs and olive oil are crunchy, tasty, and functional. You can also chop and saute them along with other vegetables. Just one warning: avoid poorly stored or green peels. They contain solanine, a toxic compound that should be avoided. Now imagine, with a simple action, you could turn something that would be thrown away into an ally against brain aging. And if you found this information interesting, the next food will take it to the next level. It has a special, little-known, a structure that helps mineralize bones and, at the same time, supports key brain functions like deep sleep, long-term memory, and even cellular regeneration in nervous tissue. Few people know this, but the next food is one of the greatest nutritional secrets hidden in plain sight. Food 5. The eggshell membrane. When you crack an egg and see that thin film between the white and the shell, what do? If you're like most people, you probably ignore it or throw it away. But what hardly anyone knows is that this transparent membrane may be one of the most powerful allies against joint pain, chronic inflammation, and even memory loss. Yes, we're talking about the eggshell membrane. This ultra-thin, nearly invisible structure is made up of collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, glucosamine, and chondroitin, a combination that directly supports joint health, but also helps the brain by modulating inflammatory processes that affect cognition. Sounds surprising? It is. Studies have shown that chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind that builds up over years, is linked to neurodegenerative diseases, memory decline, and a higher risk of dementia. And the eggshell membrane has been studied for its anti-inflammatory and regenerative potential. Additionally, the collagen it contains helps maintain the integrity of the blood-brain barrier, a vital structure that protects the brain from toxins and harmful substances. So, how do you use this membrane? With a bit of care, you can remove the film from the inside of the shell after boiling eggs. Just let them cool, crack them carefully, and peel it off with your fingers. You can let it air dry, grind it up, and add it to smoothies, yogurt, or soups. Some people prefer to dehydrate the shell with the membrane in a low oven and grind everything together. This preserves the bioactive compounds and makes it easier to use. Of course, this tip doesn't replace medical supervision and should not be used by people with egg allergies. But if you tolerate it well, you can include this functional element in your routine and see real benefits within a few weeks. And here comes an important revelation. In recent years, researchers from Harvard and health institutes in the United States have been warning about the effects of invisible compounds found in water, kitchen utensils, and even the air, silent toxins that enter the body and settle in the brain, blocking communication between neurons. This process, which affects more than 200 million Americans, is being called by many mind-sucking toxins of the modern era. And do you know what the biggest problem is? These toxins act slowly over the years. And when the first signs appear, memory lapses, trouble concentrating, words that vanish from your mind, many people already assume it's just age, but it's not. If you've ever felt something like this, or know someone who's starting to forget too much, I recommend watching the full warning left by these experts. It's available at the link pinned in the comments of this video, completely free. There you'll understand how to protect yourself from these toxins, what's really causing the mental blackout in millions of seniors, and what can be done, in practical terms, to reverse this process. This information is vital, and it has already helped many people recover clarity, memory, and even self-esteem. And don't worry, the video continues here, but write that down or save it for later, because what's coming next will change the way you look at kitchen scraps. Because the next food, although it may seem like just waste, holds a little secret. And more, it can improve your sleep, boost your energy, and protect your brain against the natural shrinkage that comes with age. Food 6. Strawberry leaves. What do you do when you buy strawberries? Wash them, cut the stems, and throw away the leaves, right? Well, know that by doing this, you're discarding one of the most overlooked natural sources of antioxidant and neuroprotective compounds. Yes, those small, green, slightly bitter leaves that seem to be useless, but they're not. Strawberry leaves are rich in tannins, flavonoids, ellagic acid, and natural vitamin C, which together have a direct effect on brain inflammation, oxidative stress, and blood circulation in the brain. Let's understand this better. As we age, the brain suffers from reduced blood flow. It's as if the roads that carry oxygen and nutrients to the neurons begin to clog or deteriorate. This makes cell regeneration harder and leads to symptoms like frequent forgetfulness, trouble focusing, and mental fog. Strawberry leaves, when consumed correctly, help dilate blood vessels, combat microinflammations, and eliminate free radicals, improving the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to the brain. That means more clarity, more mental energy, and even fewer tension-related headaches or those caused by poor oxygenation. And the most amazing part, you've probably had access to this many times and threw it in the trash. But it's easy to include these leaves in your routine. One of the safest and most pleasant ways is to make a mild tea. Just boil the leaves in water for 5 to 7 minutes. The flavor is light, slightly astringent, and can be combined with lemon, mint, or a slice of ginger to enhance the antioxidant effects. Another way to enjoy them is by blending the leaves with other fruits in morning smoothies, especially if they are fresh. This adds chlorophyll, fiber, and polyphenols, substances that strengthen the immune system and act like a cleanup crew for the brain. And yes, recent studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that people with higher intake of flavonoids found in fruit leaves, like those of strawberries, have a significantly lower risk of developing mild or moderate dementia as they age. But be careful, choose organic strawberries, since the leaves are more likely to accumulate pesticides than the pulp. If not organic, wash them well with a baking soda or vinegar solution and rinse with filtered water. The truth is that what seems small sometimes is a lot. And in this case, such a tiny scrap can make a big difference in your brain health. Now, if you're finding it impressive how so many useless parts of food hold so much power, get ready, because the next item is the climax of this video. Seriously, if you're over 50, this next item might change how you see your own kitchen. Food 7. The white part of the watermelon. Have you ever noticed that white part between the red flesh and the green rind of the watermelon? Probably yes. And, very likely, you've also thrown it away without a second thought. But that pale, bland strip, the one that separates the sweet from the bitter, hides one of the most fascinating natural compounds for anyone looking to age with mental clarity, strong circulation, and preserved memory. This overlooked and discarded part is rich in citrulline, an amino acid that improves blood flow throughout the entire body, including the brain. And why does that matter? Because as the years go by, blood vessels lose flexibility and the brain starts receiving less oxygen and fewer nutrients. This leads to mental sluggishness, difficulty focusing, forgetting simple words, and in some cases that feeling of being disconnected. Citrulline works right there. It stimulates the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and dilates blood vessels. It's like expanding the highways through which blood flows. As a result, more oxygen and glucose reach the brain, which translates into sharper clarity, faster thinking, and even more physical energy. And more importantly, unlike expensive supplements, this substance can be obtained for free, just by making better use of what's already on your plate. So how can you use this part of the watermelon? Simple. You can blend it with the red part of the fruit for a functional juice. Or even use it in salads by slicing it into thin strips with olive oil and lemon. The flavor is mild, slightly crunchy, and pairs well with both savory and sweet dishes. In some Asian countries, this part of the watermelon is used in light stir-fries, broths, and even pickles, precisely because of its high concentration of water, minerals, and phytochemicals. And it doesn't stop there. The white rind of the watermelon also contains vitamin B6, essential for the synthesis of neurotransmitters, and potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure and the brain's electrolyte balance. In other words, in addition to improving circulation, it also supports the chemical messengers that control mood, focus, and learning. And do you know what happens when you keep throwing it away? You miss the chance to enhance your mental performance with a natural, refreshing, and completely free food that's been sitting in your fridge the whole time. But hold on, the video's not over yet. The next and final food might seem completely worthless, but it's actually a natural glucose modulator and appetite regulator to factors deeply tied to brain health. If you find yourself constantly snacking, experiencing low energy in the afternoon, or having mood swings, this food might surprise you. Food 8. The core of the lettuce. Have you ever caught yourself tossing out the tough core of the lettuce while preparing a salad? That pale, crunchy part that many think is flavorless or useless? Well, that stem in the middle, often thrown away, could actually be a natural calming agent that works directly on the nervous system and improves sleep quality, commonly referred to as the heart of the lettuce. This core contains a little-known but highly functional substance, lactosine. Lactosine is a bitter compound with mild sedative, muscle-relaxing, and anti-anxiety effects. Of action is similar to that of certain herbal remedies. It acts on brain receptors linked to anxiety control, stress reduction, and sleep induction. This is especially important for those over 50. As we age, natural melatonin production decreases, sleep cycles become irregular, and the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress, leading to restless nights, chronic fatigue, and even memory lapses. Now, imagine naturally including a food that helps your body wind down, and that you already have at home. The core of lettuce also contains potassium, magnesium, and folic acid, all important cofactors for optimal brain function, and more. This part contains less water and more structural fiber, helping to prolong satiety and regulate the gut, which is crucial for balancing the gut-brain axis. There's no mystery to using it. Just don't throw it away when assembling your salad. It can be thinly sliced to enhance the dish's texture, or even sautéed with garlic as the base for a light dinner. And for those who enjoy evening teas, making an infusion with lettuce leaves and stems is an old tradition in many cultures. Used for centuries as a natural remedy for mild insomnia. And don't worry, the taste of the infusion is neutral, mild, and can be combined with chamomile or mint to enhance its calming effect. Now, why does this matter? Because poor quality sleep, night after night, directly affects short-term memory, concentration, and emotional balance. And small decisions like throwing away the lettuce core might be preventing you from sleeping better and thinking more clearly. Meanwhile, many people continue turning to strong medications that cause dependence or side effects, and the solution was right on your plate. Which of these tips did you find hardest to apply in your daily life? Let me know in the comments. That way we can help you overcome it. And don't forget to subscribe. It helps us bring the best information directly to you. And now, don't make the mistake of leaving this video thinking you've learned everything. Because even though these foods help, there are certain everyday habits, seemingly harmless, that are literally erasing the memories of millions of seniors little by little. In the next video, you'll discover what these invisible saboteurs are and how to spot them before they cause irreversible damage. It's essential content for anyone who truly wants to protect their brain for life. I'll see you in that next video. Your mind might depend on it.